Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 7 of... Actually, no, I'm just going to wait for this for a minute. Sorry, if anyone's watching right now, I'm streaming on PC using OBS at the moment, and I just want to make sure it's actually working before I do anything else. So do bear with me. Think it's working? Sorry, if anyone's watching right now, Yes, it is. All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 7 of What the Butler Said. I'm Paramedic 293, and I'll be providing you with another weekly talk about TBOG and everything that's happened and what's going on. Although I'm not, because this week I'm actually going to be doing something a bit different, because this is actually the last one of 2016. This is the last episode of What the Butler Said this year, and of course, with that being the case, there's not really much else I can do except for talk about our year, everything we've been doing, the highlights of our year, and discussing their impact, the legacy they leave behind, and not talk about next year because I'm going to be doing that next week. But, yep, I hope you all enjoy. As always, it's same rules as ever. Obviously, just some housekeeping before we start. If you need to ask me anything, ask me on Discord. Though what I will say is, because this is on PC, on OBS, I don't have instant access to see the Discord like I would on my PS4, whereas I just have my laptop off to the side where I could read what you're saying. So there will be delay on me being able to answer your questions. I'll have to pause the game on a regular basis to like have a look, but you know, it's not really a problem as far as I'm concerned. You know, if you just give me your questions and I'll get round to them eventually. Although obviously, as always, remember they've got to be about the relevant subject, and they've got to be mature. Just don't be a dick about it. That's all, basically. So yeah, without any further ado, we will get into it. This is Star Wars Battlefront 2 on the PC. I'll be providing you with some gameplay as we go along. Let me just start the match and I'll get talking. Just going to do some instant action. Let's just add all maps. Select all maps. There we go. Alright, so 2016, I think we can all agree, overall, a pretty fucked up and shit year in general, really. Just this whole Carrie Fisher death thing has definitely been the icing on top of the cake of what has been generally generally just a crap year, really. I mean, I don't really think I need to explain it. It's just, it's terrible. All the shit that's happened, all that's gone wrong, all the people that have died, all the stupid decisions people have made, it's, you know...
Hostiles have gained a command post.
But that's life. That's it. And, you know, hopefully 2017 will be better. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I am here to talk about TBOG. And in sharp contrast, I think TBOG's actually had a very good year. And, you know, there's just been a lot going on. Even, you're probably now thinking, like, what exactly did go on? Like, what huge things were there? There's actually more than you might think. This is also part of the purpose of this video. It's going to serve me to have a talk about it and try and remind you guys of some of the stuff that happens that you may have missed out on. I'm going to run you through them each individually, and obviously if you've got anything to say, do say so on the Discord, and I'll try and acknowledge it, although like I said earlier, I won't be able to check instantly. So with that in mind, let's get straight down to it. As is always the case with every year of TBOG, the centrepiece is always the anniversary. This year we celebrated our 4-year anniversary. 4 years of TBOG, yes, next year we'll be celebrating our 5th anniversary. This one definitely was the biggest, hugest, and like most emotional for sure that we've ever had, and definitely in my opinion the best. In regards to what we actually did, I can barely even remember what we did. Because I think we played Rocket League tournament, we had a quiz night, we had, you know, stuff like that. But what really stood out for me this year with the anniversary wasn't any of that. It wasn't competitions, it wasn't contests, it wasn't anything like that. This year it was the raw emotion that came from Ooh, Miss Windu. This here is the raw emotion that came from the ending. Now, all of you who were there, I'm sure you all remember what this was like. It was pretty crazy. It was shortly after the awards were all announced, we were all here, you know, everything, all the planned events had been done, and we were just sort of like chilling out a bit. And then, you know, for no real volition, everyone just started getting really emotional. And then they just started like, there was this outburst of just feelings in general. Everyone looking at how much they appreciated TBOG and, like, you know, how much they loved having their time here and everything they you know, enjoyed about being here. And it's definitely the most emotional I've ever seen everyone, because I mean, I guess it's one of those things where you had to be there to really understand, but like, bloody hell, it was truly something emotional, I'll give you that. And there were people you wouldn't really associate with, like, you know, pouring out their heart and making their feelings known, but just they were doing that. They were doing exactly what you would expect them to do. They were, you know, it's like, oh my god, you know, wow, really, that person's doing that? I think you'll probably figure out who I'm talking about. You don't know exactly who. They were, yeah, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It's not in TBOG, not anywhere in real life, really. It was just like, people were just so happy. And it was just such a nice thing to see everyone out pouring out their emotions and just showing their appreciation for each other. Because we're at each other's throats all the time, you know, we argue, we debate, we get on each other's nerves all the time. But it's really nice at a time like that for us to show each other, you know, how much we appreciate each other and how awesome we all are. So yeah, fantastic. Absolutely love that. That to me is what made it the best anniversary we've definitely had. Third year was pretty good, but I mean, you can't really top that in my eyes simply for that reason. Like I said, the contests were good, you know, we had fun, the quiz night was fun, that was fun and all, but like, the memory that lasts to me is that emotion outpouring at the end, and it's going to stick in my mind for a very long time. And in that regard, I think definitely the most successful anniversary we've had. On top of that, we also had the awards. They were a huge success this year, and most of the awards went to like, well, they went to the people you would expect it to go to, like, you know, who won Biggest Douchebag, it was Gabe, who won Quote of the Year, it was Gabe, who won Beast Managed, it was Gabe. I'm really starting to see a bit of a theme there. But yeah, they were fun, they were interesting, people got engaged, people got involved, people just, you know, they got the points, they got involved, and they were interested in what was going on. And yeah, I mean, what can I say? It was just really, really fun and really, really enjoyable. Sorry, let me just deal with this lot. So yeah, I mean, anniversary this year is always a big centerpiece because it's kind of the halfway point of the year. It kind of like the halfway point in the calendar because it's July 10th. It's like this is the halfway point in the calendar year, and it's also the TBOG anniversary, so it like kind of nicely sits in that regard.
May the force be with you.
And it was really great. It was great. It was fun. I'm hoping this coming year will be even better because it's going to be a 5-year anniversary, and I don't need to describe to you what a massive milestone it is, how impressive that is, and how much fun that's going to be in general. We've got so much to look forward to in that regard. And hopefully more emotions again. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about last year. I think that was really enjoyable. Now, moving on from the anniversary, let's talk about some other stuff. I know I want to get on to talking about the Olympics, but I'm going to leave that till a bit later. I don't really want to talk about it just yet, there's a lot to talk about in that regard. So I'm going to move on and talk about, and none of this is in any particular order, by the way. I'm just going to go over everything as and when I think about it. Just, you know, just don't walk to it. Let's talk about our leagues, shall we? Now, I did talk about leagues this past week in episode 6, but I want to talk about the leagues that happened all throughout the year, not just the ones that happened. More specifically, I want to talk about the 4-Day Online, because that was a massive success. That worked out really well. I think about 8 games we had in that in total, but like I said last week, it was the story, it was the impact of it. It was just really fun, and people enjoyed like the overall story arc of the league. as much as they did actually playing in it, because it was just the rivalry between Jack and Black was just brilliant, and it was just so fun to watch. And you know, that set a precedent that unfortunately none of the other leagues have been able to reach. So I'm not going to talk about just the good shit this year, I'm going to talk about the bad shit as well. And you know, like I said last week, the other leagues, they haven't succeeded, not as much as they should have done, and that's unfortunate. Like, you know, like I said last week, the Last of Us League, the Pokemon League, the Cards Against Humanity League, they all failed or are failing, and that's a real shame. But there has been success, and there has been stuff that's gone well. Like I said, what's gone well, the BDO League was definitely the most successful. It's the only league we've taken right to the end, but you know, I mean, every now and then you're going to get a diamond in the rough, and there's a lot of rough, unfortunately, but eventually we get the right thing, and the board game online, to me, was the diamond. Just give me a second. I'm just going to check the chat since some... Oh, okay. We're on the halfway point between a couple of games, so I'm just going to check the chat, see if anyone's said anything yet. Let me just wait for this to load. All right. Volume on the game is a bit high. Okay, I will knock that down. Thank you, Cal. Just open the volume mixer. Apologies if there's any issues with this stream. This is the first time I've really tried to use OBS properly, and it's, yeah, there's going to be issues like this, so apologies for that. All right, doesn't seem anyone else has said anything, so I'm going to get back to it. Actually, no, I'll just quickly check my script to see what else I need to talk about. Yeah, okay, all right. So, the leagues. Just one other thing I want to mention. I don't know if all of you recall, but there was actually a Rocket League earlier in the year. That was... I don't know whether to call it a success, because it didn't really end. It didn't reach its conclusion. It kind of just fizzled out. There wasn't some big ending. It just kind of like just stopped happening. Which, again, massive shame, but... I mean, like, while it happened, it felt good, to me at least. It felt like a success. And, you know, maybe it's just because me and Kuya were doing really well when we were winning, but to me, you know, to call it a failure, I don't know, that just seems a bit harsh on it, really. But I guess, I mean, technically it is. I mean, well, not even technically, it was a failure. It didn't work, you know. It didn't work as intended, and, you know, that's pretty solid definition. So, yeah, I guess it did fail, but I have good memories of it. But again, maybe that's just because me and Kuya did really well. We were set to win the whole league if, you know, if it continued through to its end. But yeah, I mean, it's another thing that didn't go as planned. It didn't go as planned as I wanted it to, or as anyone really wanted it to. But while it lasted, it was fun. So, you know, I count that as a positive. Anyway, that covers the leagues. Like, most of that I really discussed last week, but I had to talk about it this week just because it was something major that happened in 2016. So moving on, I'm going to talk about something that's a bit more relevant to this right now, the move from Twitch to YouTube. Now, I'm sure all of you remember a point in the year where I came on and I said, our Twitch has been deleted, and the prevailing theory as to who it was who ended up deleting the Twitch. I think you all know exactly who it was who deleted the Twitch. While it never was proven, it's kind of obvious given the timing and the pettiness of the person being accused. It's not hard to understand who it was that did it. But that's not relevant as far as I'm concerned. What's relevant is... sorry, I've lost my train of thought. What's relevant is the Twitch channel was deleted, and while it was there, it was pretty cool. You know, it was mostly Igni who streamed shit on it. He streamed Guild Wars 2 and amongst other stuff. I mean, I can't remember exactly all the sorts of things he did, but he was using it a lot. A few others were using it. I used it a little bit, but it wasn't used as much as I would have hoped it to be used, and it's in quite contrast to the to this YouTube channel I'm streaming through now. Now, it's not getting a great amount of views, but it is being used for its intended purpose. It was there to stream the Olympics. It was there to stream. It's there to stream these episodes. It's there to stream all sorts of things. It's actually being used for its intended purpose. Now, we're not getting like 10,000 views a week. We're not a bursting popular YouTube channel. I haven't received like a Ruby play button through my post, and I'm never going to, because we're not going to attract that sort of crowd. We're not a public sort of channel. We build for each other. But that being said, I do think the switch from Twitch to YouTube has been incredibly positive, and has definitely been a good thing. And it's just the functionality of it, I suppose. It's like when you're uploading something on YouTube, when you're streaming something on YouTube, it just goes straight to an archive, and it's there for people to view. And YouTube's just a more popular platform for watching videos than Twitch is. You don't go to Twitch and think, oh, you know what, I'm going to go start streaming for some videos that are already there. I mean, you go there for streams. So in regards to YouTube, it's kind of like, oh, awesome, you know what, Paris on a stream, we can go and watch that on the thing, So yeah, I think it's been a more positive move, although it's still not exactly, a major part of our lives at TBOG. It's helped to a certain degree, and I think that's a pretty great thing overall. What else? So yeah, I don't really have anything more to say on that regard. I mean, pretty straightforward, really, when you think about it. Not much more to say. So I'm going to move on to something else we switched from this year. Now, this was a much, much bigger move in our overall the arc of our time in TBOG. And that was the switch from Zap to Discord. Now, this began shortly before the anniversary, so it would have been early June. And basically what happened was a couple of the guys on the Zap chat, Jack and Sly and a couple of others, I think, got DDoSed. And it suddenly became very apparent how poor the security in on Zap was. It's just not very good. It's and that's dangerous. It's extremely dangerous. And as much as I didn't want to leave Zap, because I mean that had been part of our history. We've been using that for 4 years. I was very attached to Zap. I'd been using it for a long time before I joined TBOG. And it was kind of there. It was kind of part of our lifeblood, part of our DNA. I couldn't really imagine a life without Zap. But here we are, several months later, and could you imagine a life without Discord? That's now part of our lifeblood. That's important, and the move has been almost completely positive as far as I'm concerned. I can find almost no issues between Zap and I can find almost no issues that make me regret the move. Discord's just significantly better, and not having the randomers come through is actually, I saw that as a negative thing to begin with, but it's actually a really good thing. That we don't have to worry about that crap anymore. It's just great. I think it's been a completely positive move. I'm struggling to think of a negative to it. I mean, I suppose this very minor things like we lost the smileys, but we can upload the custom smileys now. We can do all that, so that's great. As far as I'm concerned. Why am I on Coruscant again? Oh, it's Civil War, isn't it? Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, that's been a completely positive change as far as I'm concerned. I can't think of anything wrong with it. Anyway, I'm just going to go and check the chat now since we're halfway between games. Okay, Cal's made a comment. He's basically said what I said about the randoms. We lost the randoms. We don't get people coming through. We don't get any traffic anymore. But honestly, I think most people would agree that that's a good thing, because when the randoms came along, it was 99% of the time it was complete trash. It was completely stupid. It was some troll being annoying and just causing problems, which did cause a need for moderators, but they're not really much of a use anymore. But I mean, that's a very small price to pay as far as I'm concerned, where it goes to the compared to everything we've gained in moving to Discord. And yeah, I mean, what more can I say? That's it's just pretty much as simple as it gets. All right, what else? Let's discuss. Let's discuss the end of the chat background contest. Yes, the chat background contest was a thing. You've probably all forgotten about it by now because it happened so long ago. But every month, we used to vote on a new background for Zap. And everyone got to throw in a one of their entrants. And then we got to vote on it. And whatever won it became the background for next month. Very simple format. But it allowed members of TBOG to display their artistic talents, in a different way. Well, in a very literal artistic way. We were making pictures, making pretty pictures. And it was great. Now, I know there was some controversy surrounding some of the pics, and I personally got a bit angry over some of it. I'm not going to lie, it did piss me off at times, and it wasn't a flawless system, but it was like I said, it was a way of displaying artistic talent that. Unfortunately, that void has not been filled since. And I think it's a great shame that it's gone. But it's not a decision I made to cancel it. That was out of necessity. It was just because we moved Discord, which doesn't have a background. So, it had to end. It had to disappear. There couldn't be any more. And as much as I would have liked it, as much as I would have liked it to continue, it couldn't. It just couldn't. Because of the nature of our move. And, I wanted something to take its place so that people could express their artistic talents a bit more. We've got a few talented graphics makers in here. And unfortunately, there's just not really been anything that could capture the attention of anyone to be able to do that anymore. So, in that regard, I think it's very unfortunate that the chat background contest ended. I think maybe one of the things that we lost from our move to this tour, that was a great shame. But again, it's a very small price to pay, all things considered, and there are other things we can do, and there's other things we've been able to do in that time. And yeah, it is a shame, but I mean, would I make the same decision again? Yes, I would. I would 100% make the same decision again because, like I said, it's been worth it. It's a small price to pay. We had some really good backgrounds over the years, and I can't remember how many background contests there were in total. I think about 15. There was over a year of them. A good year of those were completely. Let me think. They were completely custom-made backgrounds. Sorry, because in the first few months, people were just picking images and just going, just saying, "Oh, vote for me," But beyond that, people started actually making their own backgrounds. Even people who weren't traditional artists were actually making their own backgrounds and just actually getting stuck in and improving new skills. Because I think most of us here would like to be good graphical designers, but we're not. So for people to actually get stuck in and get involved like that was really nice. Yeah, we got some really good ones. We did actually have a contest in the last anniversary for what the best background was that entire year. It went to the first background of this TBOG year, of the last BOG year, sorry, which was Igny's Mega Man X background. Igny won more contests than anyone else. He won 3, I think. 3 or 4, maybe. And yeah. It was a really nice background. It's actually, to this day, the background we have on Zap. The one I left on as kind of like a legacy thing, because the chat does still exist. You can still go and access it. The link to it is still on the TBOG site, and that's the background I left on because, it's the one we voted as our best. So, why not put that one on? But yeah, that was voted as our best, and, there was some real graphical talent and artistic talent on display during those contests, which is, like I said, it's a shame that it had to end, but we must move on, and yeah, yep, it's more or less all I have to say on that subject. Sad times that coming to an end. But moving on with the graphical theme, this year was the first year we actually finally gave ourselves a logo. This was part of the 3-year anniversary celebrations. We all about 4 of us, I think, submitted a logo, and we all voted on what we thought the new one should be. I think it was me, MT, and Soli all submitted a logo. Soli's one in the end. It was a design. I gave the input for the design, but she designed it. She created the whole thing. All credit goes to her. She did an amazing job, and that's the one we are now using today. We use it on our YouTube channel. We use it on our Discord server. We use it pretty much everywhere we need a logo. I've said for years, we should have a logo because we need a logo. If we're a clan, they have to have a logo, and we got one. Simple as that. We finally did it. It just took forever for us to get round to it. We finally did it. I really like the one we have. It says TBOG to me. It just speaks us. As far as I'm concerned, it just, to me, that is TBOG, that logo. It just represents us perfectly. And I really enjoy it. I'm really glad we finally have one. And yeah, there's not really much more to say in that regard. It's good. Yeah, just credit to Soli on making something very nice. Something we should have done a long time ago. But maybe it's a good thing we waited if this was the end result. So yeah, very happy with that. The game's almost over. I'm going to check my script in a minute. Somehow I pulled off a win here. Just about. Almost forgotten how easy this game is.
They're losing reinforcements. We've captured a command post. Hostile reinforcements are dropping.
This is a game I do intend for us to play together at some point. Me and Sly have been discussing it for some time.
We control a command post. They're losing.
But it's a very old game, but it's one that I think most of us here enjoyed playing at its time when it came out, and it's very easy to play. I mean, I think it's about £2.50 on Steam right now. Very cheap, very very easy, and everyone knows how to play it. You need to download Game Ranger to play online, but it's free. It's a very simple system, and yeah, I would very much like it if we could actually get around to playing it. I've been told Soli now has it, and that Cal's planning on buying it soon, so we'll have 4 players. Let's do this shit. Let's not wait any longer. Let's get a session organised. Let's do this. All right. Once this loads up, I'm just going to quickly head back to Discord and check my script. Covered most of the things. If you guys can think of anything you want me to talk about in regards to this topic, please do let me know. Anything you think I may have forgotten about. All right. Seconds. Just general discussion, nothing, no big points to take out of what's being said here. Alright, there's 2 more big things to talk about. I'll leave the Olympics to last. The other thing I wanted to talk about was Guild Wars 2. Now, a lot of the stuff we've been talking about has been quite obvious, whether it's positive or not, whether it made a positive impact. This is not very clear. Guild Wars 2 is a bit of an odd one, a bit of a murky area. But, we can't talk about TBOG in 2016 without... I'm shooting my own troops on it. We can't talk about TBOG in 2016 without talking about Guild Wars 2, because it was a major thing during the summer months that definitely affected what we did and everything that was going on, and yeah, overall I'd have to say positive impact. Don't ask Sly, because he has so many mixed thoughts on Guild Wars 2. He could talk to you about Guild Wars 2 until the cows come home. But as far as I'm concerned, I think overall the positive impact, not wholly positive, but more so than not, I think, because it brought us together as a group on something new that we hadn't tried before as a group. And it worked. For a short period of time, it really worked. And better than I could have expected, really. I mean, for a short period of time, a lot of us were obsessed with it. There was me, Sly, Igni, Soli, Cal, Quick for a little while. I think even Kuya was in there for a little bit. And I have a lot of good memories of my time with Guild Wars 2. It was a lot of fun. It's not something I really would have thought about doing if it wasn't for you guys, so I'm happy for that. I think I put about 200 hours into it, and clan activity had sort of dropped off a bit towards the end, but I'm very happy that we did play it, because it was a lot of fun while it lasted. But on the other hand, it did create some negativity, and I know not a lot of people necessarily agreed with the sort of things we were doing on there, like the expansion into a much bigger group, and like recruiting new people. And I think maybe to some degree, yes, that did like sort of kill like the TBOG aspect, and that is quite obvious because I think most people know our emperors. do it. No, but yeah, the group expanded, the guild expanded beyond TBOG, and it renamed itself to Tab. I don't know what that stands for. You'd have to ask Sly. And ultimately, yes, it wasn't a TBOG guild anymore, but that's where it began, and that to me, it's always going to be a TBOG guild, as far as I'm concerned, because we were there from the beginning. We're the ones who built it, we're the ones who created it, and it's built on TBOG. You know, even to this day, the core is Igni and Sly. I know Igni's not a member anymore, but you know, he was for a long time. And I mean, yeah, I mean, what more can we do to say it's a TBOG group? It was a TBOG group. That's what it is. It's not anymore, but that's how it began. And I have a lot of good memories of it. Doing the guild hall, especially, that was a lot of fun. That felt like a major landmark moment in TBOG history to me, just because getting together, we had to ally ourselves with another guild, but we did something that was actually very hard. It was very hard for us to do that because it's meant for more than we had. We had about 4 people. It's meant for like 16 or 20 people, but we managed it with about 8 of us, and that, you know, a few recruited from another guild. And we did a really good job. We had a lot of fun. It was great. And a few events, awesome. PvP, we did great. World v World events, we had a lot of fun. It petered out eventually, but I am very happy that we had that experience, and I think it was very enjoyable. I can't tell you what it's been like in the past few months, because I quit in about August, I think. You know, I quit a long time ago. I don't know what it's like now, the guild. You'd have to ask Sly. Like I said, he will talk your ear off about it. You really want to know about it. But overall, as far as I'm concerned, it was a positive impact. I'm glad we did it. But I have regrets. It's a shame we couldn't do more. You know, it would have been nice if we could have done it a bit longer and, you know, stayed on as more of a TBOG group than moving on to other things. But it was a positive experience, and I'm happy. I'm happy how it went. Yeah, I know there will be differing opinions on that regard, depending on who's talking. But, you know, I can only give my opinion, and my opinion is that it was good. Simple as that. Now, the big one, the final thing I've got to talk about, of course, is the Olympics. Now, you know, prior to this, I never, ever would have predicted that we could pull off something like this, something so large in scale, something so, you know, so ambitious, actually, you know, and it is ambitious in comparison to everything else we've done before. It was such a massive success. It went on for about over 2 months, and I had a real worry that it went on a bit too long, but I think it went on just about right at the right amount of time. And it just really worked well. It just, you know, people were enthusiastic, people enjoyed what they were doing, people got into it. And it was just, you know, I can't overstate how much of a success it was. People just enjoyed what they were doing. Give me the flag, it's well. People just enjoyed what they were doing, and like, you know, it attracted a lot of interest. People were interested in earning medals. There was a competitive aspect to it. People wanted to get involved. People wanted to do more. People wanted to get more medals. It was fun. It was just fun. That's all I have to say about it, really. It was a lot of fun. And it worked. It really worked. And I cannot wait until we do it again next year. I have so many ideas of new events I want to do. Of like adjusting the format to make it slightly better. I have so many ideas for how I want to complete it, and I can't wait for it to be. But I've got to wait like another 8 months for that to happen. So I have to wait. But it was, I mean, yeah, it just worked so well. I wanted it to do several things. I wanted it to make us play more things together, make us play a greater variety of things together, make us play more competitive together. It succeeded in every aspect I wanted it to, far more than I could have expected. And the legacy is still felt today. We're playing all sorts of different games. Every month we're picking out fresh new games to play, and we're doing them. And it just worked out so well. And if there's one thing I had to pick from 2016 for TBOG that, if I had to get rid of everything else and keep one thing, it would be the Olympics for that reason. It was just fun. It was great. Okay, so that's as far as I have to go in regards to that conversation. As I've just finished a round, I will quickly switch back to Discord and see if anyone's got anything to say. Radek, post on the Discord if you want to ask me a question. Although, like I said earlier, I will be I'm playing on PC, so I won't be able to see it like straight away. I'll have to wait until the game's ended. Nope, nothing else really, I don't think, has come up. Nope, nothing else has really come up. So, yeah, I mean, I suppose I've got to address a few of the negative things that happened. We've lost a few people this year. Now, I don't really want to go too deep into this because I'm going to stir up all sorts of controversy. I'm going to say things I'm going to regret. But, long-serving, let's just leave it at this, long-serving members that we thought would be around forever left this year. And I remember saying it during the anniversary, while everyone was pouring out the emotions, getting really, really lovesick and all that. I was saying, look, when it comes to the 5-year anniversary next year, we're not all going to be here. People will have left. People leave all the time and don't come back. People leave all the time and do come back. But ultimately, people move on, and people aren't always going to be around forever. And that has rung very true this year. People I thought would be around, until the end of time are not here anymore. I'm not going to name specific names, but the circumstances of each individual person's leaving or not are differing. Some of them, I'm glad to see the back of. Some of them, not so much. But it's always sad when we have to lose a veteran, no matter how much of a dick they turned into, no matter how much they did to annoy people, and no matter how justified their leaving or banning was. They've been here for a while. They've been a part of the furniture, and you can't. The bad times do not erase the good. And there's always good times, and it's a shame to see people leave after spending so much time with us. But this is just the way things work. And eventually, people just grow apart. And there's those of you watching and listening right now. You're not going to be here forever. There's every chance in the world that you're going to leave at some point. That you won't be here for the next anniversary. And that's okay, because we've got to move on, and people have to do what they need to do. And if they didn't, then I think we'd be left with a lot of people we didn't really want to be here, and people who themselves don't want to be here, and the place would combust, and we wouldn't be in a very happy place anymore. But fortunately, that isn't the situation, and like I said, it's a shame. It's a shame the people we've lost, but move forward, always forwards, and if they ever do come back, hopefully we can fix things and mend things and hopefully get a bit better. But that's all I have to say on that matter. We lost people this year. It's a shame, but we have to move forwards. But on the other hand, as always, we gain new people where we lose them, and we have made some very good recruits this year. I just want to make a big personal shout out to Towboy, who has been amazing since he joined. I don't need to tell you how amazing it is to win Member of the Month for your first 2 months after joining. That just speaks volumes in of itself. But he's just been great. He's got stuck in. He's just an event. Even up till now, he's getting so enthusiastic. He just gets stuck in. gets people playing different things. He wants us to do more together. It's great. I love that this enthusiasm is infectious, and it's great to see people like that. We were so lucky the day Toboy decided to join. We really were. And there's all sorts of other people have joined as well. I mean, at the top of my head, I can't really think of anyone. Anyone who joined this year, just because, like, you know, I'm playing and I'm a little bit distracted. But lots of people have, and lots of people have joined this year, and there's a lot of people I'm very grateful to join this year. But you know, sorry, you'll already tell I'm losing my train of thought here. I've been talking too long. But yeah, there's been great people this year. There's been a lot of people I'm very happy to have on board. And hopefully next year, and hopefully this will continue. Hopefully going into 2017, we'll get even more awesome people. More cool people will join, and we'll build up an even stronger community. But we'll have to wait and see. We won't know that until it happens. So, you know, what more to say on that side of things? Just... yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much more to say. I think that pretty much covers everything noteworthy to talk about during 2016. I can't really think of much else, you know, unless anyone else has got anything to add. I think that more or less covers it. There's been a lot going on this year, a lot of massive changes to the way we do things, a lot of things happening that I didn't necessarily think would happen, and mostly for the positive, I think. You know, there's been negative things, definitely for sure, but I think on the whole, looking back on it, this has been a very good year for us, and I hope 2017 is even better. And I think 2017 will be better. You know, I really hope it is. And not much more I could have asked for this year, quite frankly. I mean, you guys were great. You've all been awesome. You've all been fantastic. And yeah, like I said, not much more I could have asked for. You've all been great. And what more needs to be said? All right, so that's more or less going to do it for me. Just a few things to cover before I go. Basically, we're going to be I'm making a few new events in the new year. There won't be anything scheduled. Oh, actually, there is one thing scheduled. Thursday, so in 2 days' time, we've got Toboy's Quiz Night, which is going to be a relatively short one, but it's the first one since the Olympics, and I'm hoping you all turn up because it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very interested to see what kind of a host he's going to be. I don't think we've actually had a new Quiz Night host for a couple of years, so this is going to be pretty interesting. You know, every host brings their own flair to the whole thing, and then makes it more interesting. You know, like brings their own sort of style. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what Toboy's style is. It's going to be interesting. That's on Thursday at 7 EST, I guess. I don't know. He didn't give a time. You'd have to ask him. Yeah. Other than that, there's no events planned through to the end of the year. So in 2017, in the early months, I'm gonna be attempting to bring us some more games that we don't necessarily play all the time. Chief at the top of my list is Tabletop Simulator. Sly got it at Christmas, and it's very cheap right now on Steam. So if the rest of you want to get in on that action, please do. You know, the more people we have involved in that, the better. And I'm really looking forward to getting that working, because there's limitless potential for us in that, given mods and everything. There's just so much we can do. And I'm really looking forward to getting involved with that. So I'm making some events based on that. I'm making an event on Star Wars Battlefront 2. And if this has made you a little bit nostalgic, if you want to go on PC and buy it, I don't care how shit your PC is, it can run this, because a toaster could run this as far as I'm concerned. You know, it doesn't exactly require much to run. So I will be making events for this very soon, and I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys all play in it. The GTA Winter Games will continue. I'm looking to finish those by the end of January. That we've had a bit of a delay for various reasons, my working, Radix gone on holiday, etc., etc. And hopefully that won't last too much longer. Hopefully we'll be able to get back on track very soon and get them finished. The OMG MOBC games, which I'm sort of semi-announcing here, will be coming shortly after the Winter Games. I don't want to run them concurrently. I want to do them as and when they happen. I want to do them individually, so we've got to focus on each. But I've explained it before. Basically, leading up to the next Olympics, I want to do a sort of like a big focus event on each sort of big game that we do, and the next one will be OMG, MOBC, because there's a lot of games I want to try from there in a competitive aspect, such as Kuwaka, which is Pac-Man, Balluno, which is Bomberman. What was the other one? Well, Pool, obviously, Ghetto Swap, etc., etc., etc. Just stuff I want to try in a competitive arena. So I'll be organising events for that very soon. Later on in the year, we'll have Minecraft, Rocket League, just stuff like that coming up. But as for the immediate future, you know, as and when stuff happens, I'll announce them for you, but I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that's going to happen. At this point, you probably consider the Christmas party is probably cancelled once again. I'm really bad at organising Christmas parties. Other than that, yeah, I don't think I've got really anything more to say. I think the All-Stars is on a brief hiatus. I don't really know what's going on with that, but if you want to get involved with that and do stuff, just ask on the channel about it. I'm not really sure what's going on in that. Other than that, I think that more or less covers everything I needed to say. Unless anyone else has got anything else to say, and just before I finish, I'll just quickly check the Discord. Not really much more to say based on that. I'll just quickly check my script to see if there's anything that I missed. No, I didn't. So yeah, there we go. Okay, this has been episode 7. We'll be returning back to the regular format. Well, I mean, by that I mean I'll be back on my PS4 and I'll be back at home, at my flat, sorry, so it's going to be going back to the way it normally is. I'm hoping to bring you some more footage of Dishonored 2 next week, maybe. I don't know, I'll make a decision closer to the time. Episode 7, as that will be the first one, and that's actually going to be on the 3rd of January. That'll be the first one in 2017, so whereas here I've done a big review of 2016, I'm going to be looking forward to 2017 and talking about everything that's going to be happening next year and predictions, stuff that I already have planned, stuff that could happen. So that's sort of like a looking forward year as opposed to a looking back year. So yeah, I hope you look forward to that. It's going to be quite enjoyable. Actually, another thing, just a small thing. Solly sent me a sort of thumbnail image thing that I'm now putting on all my What the Butler Said videos. So if you check on the YouTube channel, they've all been added for the previous 6 episodes. So go and have a look at those and give me some feedback. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. Just a cool little thing to make the channel look a bit cooler, I think. I'll be adding the one for this episode later on. Other than that, yeah, that pretty much covers it. I'm going to stop talking now. So thank you very much for tuning in. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back next Tuesday to talk about episode 7. Until then, thank you for listening. I've been Paramedic293, and I will see you later.